Okay, so I'm actually going to record it. So the next thing to do is look at the business and how we actually, so you've already got a product that you know and love, you want to share it, okay?
Yeah.
So we have to know how to do that in a way that's A, effective, and B, doesn't damage relationships.
Right.
So that's very important for me because I love what I do and I want you to love it. You already love the product, but what's going to happen is if you do it in a way that causes friction, you'll stop loving it. Okay.
Right.
And I've seen that happen so many times because people get very excited, they rush out and they're trying to persuade every one of their friends that they should be on this stuff, and they get the knockbacks and sometimes they drive it, makes them more persistent, they dig their heels in even more, and then they end up relationships in some cases. So my method stops all of that in its tracks. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you not to talk to your friends and family about the product or business, unless you happen to have some friends and family that are really interested in natural health and so on. Fine. If they're interested, great. But don't try and persuade any of your friends and family who are not interested. Leave them alone, okay? In the same way that when you have friends around and you say, hey, would you like a coffee? And some of them say yes, some of them say no. You do not try and persuade the ones that said no to take the coffee, right? That's just not normal life, right? So we're going to act like normal life. When your friend says no, we normally just accept that. Hey, would you like to come to the movies with me? No. That's the end of the. You're not normally going to try and, push them and persuade them. You owe me a favor. Come on, we're friends. You're supposed to support me. Come to the meeting. We don't normally do that, right? Okay, well, that's what they do in networking. So we're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use methods to find the right people that are likely to be interested in what we have. Okay, so first of all, we have to understand what we have, which is why I like to start with product information. So you need to know what your product does, what problems it solves. You need to understand that because for example, just imagine that our product cured cancer. Imagine, hypothetically, we're not allowed to say it did if it did, but just imagine, right? And you knew someone who had cancer, but you didn't know that the product helped with that. Then you wouldn't be able to share that. So you have to know what the product does, right? If you don't know what the product does. So effectively, the product does 2 or 3 things. The primary thing, in terms of Protandim, NRF2, the primary thing is it reduces oxidation. And oxidation underlies all chronic disease. So if you have somebody that says, hey, does it work for blah, 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 you can go into PubMed, put that disease in, put oxidative stress, and the chances are very high you're going to get studies coming up showing that oxidative stress underlies that issue, right? Equally, Protandim helps with gene expression. So if you've got people with MTHFR or other, also any survival gene issues, you know that Protandim is going to help. Okay. Now, Protandim NRF1, do you know anything about that? Are you familiar with what that one does?
Well, that's the one I originally started taking. And from my understanding, it is basically a support to the NRF2, correct?
Well, they do support each other. That's true. But do you know what it does?
No.
Sorry, you have to wait. Okay, so one of the key sufferers of high oxidative stress, one of the things that gets damaged first is mitochondria.
Okay.
The mitochondria are the engine of the cell. Okay, so they are what give the cell energy. So if the mitochondria, and they have lots of mitochondria, not just one. It's not like one little engine like a car. You just have the one that's got lots, and they all work to provide energy. What we call ATP. Okay, and the mitochondria are very easily affected by oxidation, and they can be damaged or die altogether, and that reduces the ability of the cell to function because it's losing its power. Okay, so one of the places that has the highest levels of mitochondria is the brain. The brain is one of the areas that suffer, and you start having brain issues like cognitive issues, brain fog, ADHD, autism, and all these things affected by the death of a lot of mitochondria. So NRF1 is aimed at helping your body to fix the mitochondria that's damaged and to create new mitochondria. So effectively it's there to help the cells to function, whatever the capacity that particular cell its job might be. Okay, so you're working at reducing the oxidative stress and fixing one of the key components that's killed by oxidative stress at the same time. So they work hand in glove.
Sure.
Now, actually, NRF1 on its own, because it's fixing mitochondria, and mitochondria engines can increase oxidation.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's why you want, if you only do one, it's NRF2.
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Because you want to be reducing the oxidation, and then if you reduce the oxidation, now you can afford to fix the mitochondria and what have you. They work brilliantly together. Together, they're especially powerful for working on gene expression, and they're particularly powerful on the brain. I say that just based on results that I've seen. Okay. So the other two products I'll quickly mention. I'm not going to get into too much detail. I like to get people wherever possible on the vitality stack. If you ever have to go and deal with anything, just go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to give you a heads up. I have 6 children.
I seem to have a lot of ladies with a lot of children. Just talking with 8 children before you, so it's crazy. But if you know, I understand when you've got children. If you have to just pause a second and go and
sure
or whatever, I mean,
we'll walk away from them for a minute here.
Basically correct, I know, but right. So just don't hesitate. Don't feel it's rude or anything like that. Listen, you're a mum with kids. I get it. So don't worry about it. Okay. So I like to get everyone on the vitality stack because it covers 4 major pillars of imbalance, and the whole object that we're trying to do is rebalance the body so it can self-heal. Mm-hmm. So having NRF2 with the oxidative stress, we have an NRF1 with the mitochondria, between them gene expression as well. Okay, then we have omega-3. Now most omega-3s on the market are very, most of the omega-3s are rancid, which actually harm health.
Yes.
But omega-3, I'm not going to go into it here and now, but basically omega-3 helps to reduce inflammation, and it does that because most of us have got an imbalance of HDL versus LDL. So most people have got too much, which is cholesterol, with too much LDL and not enough HDL, and omega-3 is HDL. So it brings the omegas back into balance.
Hold on one second. Yeah, you're okay. It's okay. It's just wet. It's just water. Okay? Just water. It's okay. It's okay. The boys are wet. You're all right. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Omega-3.
Yeah. So it brings your HDL, LDL back into balance, and that reduces low-grade inflammation in a different way to oxidation does. So we're bringing the oxidation down, reduces inflammation. Getting that in balance helps with inflammation. It also helps your toxic fats. It helps your body to release the toxic fats, because good fats in, bad fats out. Okay. So omega-3 is very, very powerful. And then finally, the probiotic, because a lot of us have got digestive issues. We need that digestive support because of antibiotics, and which we're getting in the food, let alone the medications that doctors give us. But even if we don't have the medications, unless we're eating all organic, we're getting the antibiotics through the food because the animals are being fed, unless we're vegan. I'm talking about meat here. So meat, non-organic meat is full of antibiotics, sadly. So those 4 awesome pillar. That's a very, very fast overview. Okay. So our goal then is to put this information in front of the right people. So there's two main areas of people that we come into contact with. One is people that we might come into contact with in real life, depending on their lifestyle. So Some people meet a lot of people in everyday life. I'm not one of those. I live in the middle of nowhere. I don't meet hardly anybody, but some people do. If you're a nurse, you probably have lots of people that you're connecting with all the time. If you're a policeman, if you're a teacher, and so on. Some jobs, you meet a lot. Okay, so.
Yeah, I'm sorry. He's so distracting.
That's all right. That's all right. Listen, I'm pausing.
And we must always pay attention to him. Here, you don't need any light bulbs. You're good. You don't need anything in this cabinet. There. Jagger, can you help entertain Genix for just a little bit, please? Thanks. Here, the boys want to play with you. Can you go play with your brothers? No. You guys are not playing in that thing. Okay.
Okay. What was his name? Jagger?
Jagger, yep.
That's great. I love that.
My mom's a big Rolling Stones fan.
Oh. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so that's really fast on product. But what I really want to focus on is who we're going to be talking to. So like I said, there's two places. There's real life and social media. So are you anticipating doing both those, or are you going to do more of real life, or are you going to do more online? What do you feel?
Probably mostly online, because I have 6. We don't get out very much.
Right.
But I do have a few people that I have been talking to about this with.
Right. Okay. So if we're going to do it online, that's my speciality. Online. So do you know how many friends you've got on your Facebook page?
I think I'm up to like 1,400 maybe. Okay.
So are you the friends on your Facebook page? Are they mostly people that you meet? How do you meet these people? Are they people into natural health, or are they just people into other things? Who are they?
Most of them are vaccine injured parents. Okay,
well that's pretty cool, because that means most vaccine injured parents. Well, you mean vaccine injured children of parents?
Yes, that.
Got a load of vaccine injured parents that are my friends. They're all seriously brain dead because of the vaccines. So,
yes.
Okay, so that group of people are highly interested in what we do, because we're fighting the damage done by toxins, and they are children damaged by toxins, right?
Yes.
So, most of these children have cognitive issues, and our products really, really help with that. Okay, so that's a perfect group of people. So what you need to do, I'm going to just share my page a minute.
Okay.
Let's get onto let me close these down. Hold on a minute. Let's go to my page. So the first thing you need to do, if you're going to be using your page as a way of reaching people, is you need to make your page, you've got to think of your page as a shop window.
Okay.
Right. So when you make a friend on Facebook, when you send a friend request or whatever, the first thing they can do is look at your page and make a judgment pretty quick about who you are and what you're about, and whether they want to be part of that. Okay. So first thing you need to do is you need to have a nice picture of yourself smiling, hopefully, or at least looking happy there. Okay, that's perfect what you just did. Right, so a little picture of you just there. This can be whatever you want. I mean, I've got 2 pictures of myself, but you don't need to do that. But something that's congruent with what you're doing. Okay, so then you need to have some information in the about. That is about you, and it's something that's going to be again congruent with people into natural health, into anti-vaccine, into fixing health issues naturally, anti-pharma, any of that stuff. So I've just So in mine, it just says passionate about natural health, love positive people that live their life on their terms. I'm entrepreneurial, find a lot of the most interesting people are. I've lived in many countries, most recently Brazil, Greece, but back in the UK and Wales now, which is my home country. Work as a holistic health consultant and teach people how to make an income from Facebook. Okay, so that just gives people a little insight into me without having to scroll forever down my page to try and understand. So if I send someone a friend request and they pop on and say, who's this guy? Have a quick look at my picture. Okay, he looks okay. He looks happy enough. You know, you don't want to have a real miserable face, right? It's not very attractive. So they can have a quick look and they're going to like all of that. But then what they're going to do next is they're going to have a look at your actual, usually the first half a dozen posts. They're not going to, most people aren't going to scroll down much beyond that. So in this case, I've just done a live, stop taking antioxidant supplements, which, by the way, you could share that. That would be perfect for your page.
Okay.
Oh, I haven't put a link on there yet. I need to do that. And look at all the people that are saying they're interested already. Just finish that. So then I've got a post here about how our food is minerally deficient. Then let's have a look. An anti-vaccine one. Then, okay, so that's to do with the shootings. Okay, so I do a little bit of political. There's not. No, I've never met you to a brief conversation yesterday and now, so I have no idea of your politics, right? I can't possibly know that, but I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take a guess, and I might be wrong, but I'm usually not. I'm going to guess you're not a Democrat.
No.
Right. There you go. How did I know that? I'll tell you how I knew that. Because Democrats, on the whole, are Democrats because they believe what the media says.
Yeah.
Right? So if you believe what the media says, you're going to probably be a Democrat.
Right.
If you don't believe what the media says, you're probably not going to be a Democrat. Now, I know you don't believe what the media says because you're into natural health. And the media tells us to go to our doctor.
Yes.
So the Democrat is likely to want to go to his doctor and is likely to believe in vaccinations because the media tells us that vaccinations are good. And so on the whole, our market is centre-right. It's not left. So most of the people that are interested in joining our business are centre-right. So there's a fairly good chance there'll be a Trump supporter in the state. There might not be, but there's a good chance that they will be. But they're certainly going to be centre-right.
1 second. Okay? Boys, we got to calm it down. Can we listen? Okay, thank you. Okay, sorry.
Right, so yeah, but out of interest, are you a Trump supporter?
The only reason I voted for him was the vaccine issue, which now he's kind of flipped sides. Okay,
that's a discussion for another time. I'm not sure that he has flipped. I think it's a battle he can't fight right now, is what I think. But okay, so you did vote Trump. So yeah. Right. So I post some political stuff, but because I know where my market is, I post stuff that's going to be congruent with my market, which happens to be my position. So it's easy. It's the stuff I agree with. So I post. So that's on guns. So I'm pro guns in America. You probably are pro guns, I'm guessing. Again, lots of guesses here, but based on my understanding of our market, that's where you're likely to be. Okay. Yep. So I will post on controversial issues because I'm posting on the side of my market. So it's controversial in that my market has one belief and the Democrats have another belief. I don't care if I annoy Democrats. I don't care from a business point of view or from any other point of view. I literally see Democrats as our enemy. So okay, so you can post a little bit on politics as long as you don't go overboard. Just understand where your market is. So there's another one. That's a UK politics one. So that's about the UK leaving Europe. So again, my market in the UK, most of them want to leave Europe, and the equivalent of the Democrats mostly want to stay in Europe. So here's another live, this time on Zeolite, and I'll do. And there's one offering $50 to somebody that wants to join me in my business.
Okay.
So I could go on and on. I will just do that one. Have you seen that one? I just thought that was so cute. I do this as well. Watch this. So can you see that even on Zoom?
Yeah. That's cute.
How cute is that? Okay. So I love that. It's a supportive dad. I saw it as a supportive dad, but also how we have to support one another in our team and in life in general. You know, we encourage and we upbuild our people that are around us. And I just thought that was a beautiful example of that. So you can do that kind of stuff. I like to do a little bit of uplifting stuff. I also throw in a little bit of humour because I'm a very funny person. So I like to add that into because that's part of my personality. Now you might have some quirks of your personality. You might be a big horsey person, and you could do a bit on that, or you might be. As long as it's conducive to what we're doing, then you post it. If it's not conducive, limit it greatly, because you're using your page now as a shop window that people are going to see. Okay, so I'm not saying don't post your grandkids or whatever else you might, or your kids. In this case, I've got grandkids. I'm thinking in terms of being old here, but you can do that on occasion, but keep it low. You know,
okay.
I wouldn't do it at all, really. But if you really want to, if you absolutely must do the occasional grandchild picture, that's fine. There's a certain amount of your own life you can post because you do want to show a bit of who you are, because people have to get to kind of get a feel for who you are as a person. So that's fine.
Right. Okay.
So if you do all of that, that's your shop window dealt with. Next step is to invite people to that page. So here's what I'm going to do to invite people to that page. So I'm going to go to a natural group. Let's do natural. There's one. So this is a natural group. There's millions of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And oops, it doesn't look good. So I have a yeast infection. So sometimes they're going to ask questions that you can answer, because they've asked me a question about a condition that you've got an answer to.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll answer, and I usually won't give my product or whatever. I will just give some value, and if they connect with me, which they sometimes do, then I'll deal with that privately. Occasionally I'll but the object of going on there is to make new contacts. So I will make now you've got to remember this as well, just thinking about it. So the more value you give, the more successful you will be. Okay, so your job is as a servant to serve people.
Mm-hmm.
If you do that, the more successful you will be and the more you will help people. So I'm going to go on. I'm going to make some comments. So they might ask a question. If I've got some valuable insight, I will add that. Sometimes I'll go and research it, because these people seem incapable of research. Sometimes I'll ask a question nobody knows. I'll go and research it, and I can find out in a few minutes what they're asking. They should have been able to do, and then I'll put the answer, and then oh, thanks for that, right? And they thank me. I send them a friend request.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anybody that thanks me, anyone that likes my comment, anyone that interacts with me with any way in a positive way, I'm going to send them a friend request.
Yeah.
Equally, if I see somebody that's making good comments, they're adding really good stuff in, I might like 2 or 3 of their things. In fact, I usually don't I heart. Mm-hmm. Because they notice that more, and because it actually helps them more, because a like doesn't increase their exposure, but a heart does. Yeah. So I will heart it, 2 or 3 hearts, then I'll send a friend request. Okay, so now I'm starting to get friends that are accepting my friend request and joining my page who are the right kind of people. Mm-hmm. If I add 5 people every day that are the right kind of people, over a period of time, I'm getting a really nice following of people who are the right kind of people.
Right.
So now whatever I do on my page is likely to be seen by more of the right people. So if I then, for example, I've just done a live basically saying, if you're taking an antioxidant, stop. And then I explain why, because there's something that's billions of times more powerful. Why would you take this other thing? So now if I've got naturally minded people, probably a lot of them are taking antioxidants, I say that there's a good chance that I'm going to have some response to that. Whereas if I've got just regular everyday people, probably 2-3% of them are into natural health. So 97% of them aren't going to be interested, and Facebook's only going to show maybe 10-20% of them. So the chances are not one person that Facebook shows interested.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got to get the balance so that most people on our page would be interested. So then whoever Facebook shows, there's a fair chance they're going to be interested.
Okay.
Does all that make sense?
Absolute. Yep.
Okay, next thing. You must never post on your page. I say never. Never's a strong word. But in general, you mustn't post on your page the name of the product or the company. You always want to post in a way that generates curiosity but doesn't answer their questions.
Okay.
But they have to come to you to find out. Okay, that's a general rule. There's some exceptions, but it's a general rule. So if you don't do that, what will happen is, let's say you say Pretandem is what's done this, whatever it is you're talking about. Then what's going to happen is they're going to Google Pretandem. They're going to just start doing research. That research might take a day or two sometimes, and by the time they finish the research, they can't even remember or find the post that originated it.
Right.
Right, so you've lost them. They're going to go and buy it. You've started them off, but they're not going to be buying it from you.
Right.
Okay, so you don't want that happening. So you have to find out who's interested, and you're not going to find out unless you make them ask you by not giving them enough information. Okay, so now I like to use testimonies. One of the things that I will do, if you go to Little Yellow Pill, right, let me just... Okay, so this is a folder. This is my Life Vantage folder. Mm-hmm. I've got all kinds of memes in here and other folders. Hold on, let's open diseases. So this is Life Vantage testimonials in alphabetical order that I've collected over time. Okay.
Yeah.
So when somebody says to me, does Pretandem help with this? I find it. I'll go and do some search, maybe in Life, maybe in Little Yellow Pill, maybe on Google, whatever. I find some testimonials. I don't just send them. I save them. And then bit by bit, every time somebody asks me, I find it, send it, save it. I build up a library. And one of the things that I do is that I will take that I will take the testimony and I will black out certain parts. So I'm going to black out the name of the person, or sometimes I'll just black out the surname. That's just to stop, you know, if I've taken somebody's testimony, it's not fair on me to be putting their name out.
Right.
You know, I can't do that. It would be wrong. So I don't. I knock it out. So the second thing that I'll do is I will block out anywhere they mention the product name or the company.
Mm-hmm.
So now they can read it. I was introduced to Pretandem by Molly. I've blocked her name out because, again, same reason. She happens to be my cousin through Matt, blah, 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 medical problems. I had fibromyalgia and numerous scar tissues, blah, blah, blah. To make a long story short, I've been on Pretandem, blocked out, since then. And then he goes on to say what it's done for him. My wife was so impressed with it, blah, blah, blah. But so now when I give that testimony, I don't even know what that testimony is for. He's an army vet, take long story short, mentally very clear, energy increased. And I'll never stop taking Pretandem. Wife so impressed with my recovery and less pain. We're both on it for life. Right. Oh, this guy's a distributor. Now a distributor, so there's another reason to block his name out. I don't want someone going and finding him.
Yes.
So, so I can now post that publicly. Now, sometimes people get frustrated that you're blocking out what it is. And they're like, well, you know, why won't you just say what it is? Right? Here's my response. Right. Because it's illegal. Because that's making a claim.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got two reasons for not posting it with the name. One is because I don't want them doing the research. blah, blah, blah. But there's a second reason is you cannot publicly make claims. So this is a way of making the claim without attaching it to a product so no one can be in trouble.
Right.
And now they got to ask me, and I can privately do it. So I can publicly post it and privately deal with them, where I then can talk about more detail than I could get away with publicly.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got two reasons, and one of those reasons is a good reason to give people who are irritated, because you can just say, if it's illegal, I'm not allowed to make claims, blah, 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 and that kind of shuts them off.
Okay.
So I suggest that you build a library like this.
Okay.
And, how do I go back? There we go. So I do trainings as well. As I've got, I copy conversations. So to show how I actually do it in text. So somebody just posted, anyone spending a small fortune on vitamins and herbs to stay healthy, it's about to break my bank. That was their comment. They have 100 comments. I said, I spend about £400, but earn a lot more from it. It actually makes my full-time income, so no deal for me. Okay, now I've got people saying, can you email me with him? Please? And that's how I do it. How easy is that?
That's awesome.
Listen, I've got to pop to the bathroom. 1 sec.
Okay.
Okay, water out, water in.
Yes.
Right, so let's have a quick peek at something else on here. Let me see. Oh, I'll talk to you about this as well. Yeah, hold on. Right, so this person, I'm a mother of a vaccine-injured child, exactly your market, right?
Yep.
This is heartbreaking for me to read, blah, blah, blah. So I said, I train people how to work from home, helping people with natural health, including recovering from vaccine damage, as far as that's possible, but all vaccines cause irreparable damage. That's because this post was someone saying, I'm going to give my child a vaccine, what do I do afterwards? And so I like to always say, look, you can't totally fix it. So, yeah. But anyway, I explain what to do here, and I give a link where I explain my mission, which is to help people, blah, blah, blah. Many of you found an answer, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so then she says, I'm interested. She says, I'm interested. I've got this message somebody sent, saw your comment on anti-vax site, watched the videos, I'm interested to learn what you're doing. So I'm just showing you what I'm doing to create people. It's not rocket science here.
Right.
It's just saying the right thing in the right place to the right people, and they want to know. This is in a big group called Stop Mandatory Vaccination. It's a closed group. Yes. I was able to do
I'm in that group.
Sorry?
I'm in that group.
Right, you're in that group. Well, you just look at the interest I just got from a load of people. So, let's do one more real combo. What I don't know what these are. I haven't looked at these for ages, to be honest. Right, so again, I can't be able to read it all, but here's the comment. She says, hey, absolutely, I'd love to look at it. I hate working a 9-to-5 job. So that's the length of the conversation, real short. Let's just have a quick look at this one. So I'm chatting with somebody. I showed, this is a video, actually a screenshot of a video where a doctor's talking about the reduction. This is before taking NRF1, 2 and Axio. This is a brain scan, and this is after taking it.
Wow.
Okay, isn't that amazing? So,
yeah.
So I sent that video, and they said, "Hello, thanks for the video link." Then I said, "For further info on the 3 steps discussed, watch this video, which is the one I just sent you." They said, "Very good, thank you. I love the products. I love that the products are herbal extracts and not chemicals made in a lab." Oh, and then that's the second part of the conversation, whether I'd like to get up my 9 to 5. Okay, so right, that's a 2 part. So I got from that video to them interested in the business.
That's great.
That quick. Okay. So, and those are just a few that I've saved. I should save more because I'm doing it all day. I'm having these conversations all the time. So, and then I've got like a video. That's hair care pictures before and afters that I've collected for the hair care range.
Nice.
And then I do simple things like even that. I've saved that. So, what are the countries we're in? You can go and find out in the thing, but I just like to save it so I can post this to somebody. So this is the European.
You never know when you're going to need it.
Yeah, so it's just all there, organised, so that I can go straight there whenever I need to. And I've also got videos in this one, so that's a collection of videos, video testimonials and different stuff. So I've got it all organised. So if I'm having a conversation with someone and they say, "Does it do this?" Well, what about that? Or can you explain? I can just go dung dung dung, send them this, that, the other.
Yeah, I do have a question. With the stop hitting the dog. Your MTHFR folder. Me and all of my children have MTHFR. So one of my kids cannot tolerate methyls. The rest of us can. So does like the Vitality Stack, does that kind of replace our needing to take methyl donors?
Right. So let me explain. So I'm going to go into video.
Okay.
And somewhere in here, I think, actually, I know where I know I've got it elsewhere. I'm not sure if I've got it here as well. Let me see. Okay, so I'll show another thing that I've got. So I have a LifeVantage Word document.
Okay.
Okay, and I've got all sorts of information again that I need. And one of them is that, so that's the MTHFR. So I did a live on MTHFR with Dr. McKee. That's
Great.
it. So what I would do, I've got to go back to where Jamie. Can you see a Jamie anywhere there? I'm not seeing her. Jamie, there you are.
Yep.
So I will send you that video.
Great, thank you.
So that's how I do it. That's how I'm organised. So I can just, when I'm having a chat with somebody and boom, I can just send that. So MTHFR. So is it 1 SNP, 2 SNPs?
Just 1 copy.
Right, in all of you. Okay. So yeah. What NRF1, 2 will do is they will effectively change the gene expression. So they can't fix because it's something you can do to fix it, but your genes can be kind of in or out of tune depending on various things. And as they get, it's like an engine can be in and out of tune. So or a musical instrument can be in and out of tune. A piano can be in and out of tune, and so on. So it's more important for someone who's already got limited gene expression, because they've got this MTHFR issue, so they're already functioning at only 70% of efficiency. But then if it gets out of tune, it might drop down to 60% or something. right? So
Right.
what it will do is it will tune it up. So if you're over-expressing, if your genes are overexcited, it will calm them down, and if they're underperforming, it will boost it up. So basically, you'll get the
That's awesome.
yeah. So Dr. McKee, who I'm doing that interview with, and she's giving most of the information. So she is MTHFR 2 SNPs.
Okay.
And she's fine. So that's one of the key things that you can do for that, to just get the best out of your less than perfect genes. If that makes sense. So anyway, so that's a 15-minute or so video, I believe, that goes through a little bit of that information, and that's something you'll be able to share with your people who are all. A lot of them will be MTHFR, or their kids will be MTHFR, right? So because most autistic kids are, because that's part of the problem. Okay, so yeah, so that's how I'm set up. That's how I've got my setup. That's my approach. So I'm going to be finding the right people and then sharing information. That's it. Asking them first. You know, I'll ask them, like, for example, if they've got an autistic child, I might say, hey, I've seen some great results with. And one of the things that you can do is do you understand how the yellow pill works in terms of a tool to use it to bring people into the business and what have you?
No. Stop that. Nope. Find something else to play with. Sorry. Getting the poop bags out for the dog.
No
okay. Okay, go ahead.
Your children wasn't hard enough work for you. You had to get a dog as well.
Well, you know, I like a challenge.
I'm seeing that. So listen, the autistic world, or cognitively challenged world, because it's not just autism, it's ADHD, it's brain fog, it's depression, it's bipolar, it's all of this stuff. We've got a lot to offer these people. So if you can connect with this, we've got children that are struggling, that is a really big area where you can really help a lot of people and also build a really strong business. And some of these young women, when they get the results that they will get, they become the most evangelistic for what, you know, they really, some of these young mums are powerful in the way that they communicate, heartfelt videos that they make and reach out to other young mums. Young mums listen to young mums much more than they'll listen to old men like myself. So, so it's really good to get into that market because they need help. They really need help. And we've got a whole range of stuff that really can make a massive difference to their lives.
That's the best part.
It is. It's just fantastic. It's just what we do is so exciting and so fun. You know, I wouldn't want to be doing anything else. This is where it's at as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so I don't want to give you too much in one hit. But so if you have any questions about anything we've covered, or well, anything, to be fair, if there's anything that's burning in you know, that we haven't covered but you want to know, then now's the time to ask. And then we'll call it a day for this particular training session. So, okay. Is there anything that you need some clarification on that we've covered, or?
No, I think it's very, very straightforward.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, because that's what we do is simple.
Yes.
The people who don't succeed in this business, they don't succeed because they don't do the work of getting the right people and sharing the information to the right people. They don't do it. They'll do masses of training. They'll do masses of trying to persuade their uninterested friends. Yes. But I don't know why they're so keen on that, because I hate doing that. But they won't do this. But if you do this, you're going to help a lot of people. You're going to have a successful business. You're going to make good money. You know, and you're going to make good money changing lives, which is just the best way of making. There's no better way of making money than changing people's lives for the better.
Yes.
So,
Love that.
Okay. In that case, Jamie, I think we're pretty much covered.
Okay.
Anytime you have any questions, then please either get in touch with Anne as your first point of call, or myself if Anne's not able to help for whatever reason. You don't ever worry about bothering me. This is what I do. Okay. So don't feel, I don't want to have asked him a load of questions yesterday. I don't want to ask him any more today. Don't worry about that. I actually prefer the people that ask me lots of questions because they tend to be the people that act. My experience, the ones because they're like, they're going to act. So I better check that. That's fine. Ones that don't ask any questions usually don't do anything either. So it's a pleasure to help this process with you, Jamie, and I'm excited to help further and see what happens. So be gentle when you start. Don't go pushing what have you. Be very gentle with people. Just educate people. Think of your role as an educator, not as a salesperson. You're an educator. So you first do the research yourself, and once you learn something, you're just sharing that, and you're sharing it with people who are interested. And some of those people, when you share it, are going to want to do it. Some of them are going to want to get involved in doing what you're doing because they're going to see, hey, I'd love to earn an income. I'd love to be doing what you're doing and helping people. So if you do what I'm saying, you will be successful in your goals for helping people, in your goals for building an income, in your goals for self-improvement, for helping your own family, your own children, and what have you. All of that will come.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, Jamie, I will catch you another time. Message me anytime.
Okay.
I turn everything off when I go to bed, so you can't connect with me once I'm in bed. So don't worry, is it too late? If it's on, I'm up. If it's not on, I'm in bed.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.